Today, it's time for us to fix my navigation problem. I use navigation everywhere I go, but more times than not, it's frustrating opening up maps, trying to get to a guide, and the guides are buried. And what's at the top isn't the address you're looking for. So today, I'm going to create an easy nav, and it's going to be all the places I frequently go and visit. That way, I can click a button, it automatically opens up the directions to that specific location without me having to play around inside of maps. This one is going to be very, very useful. Let's dig in. All right, so first things first, the first thing you're gonna need in case you stumbled upon this video is going to be shortcuts. Now, this is Shortcuts app right here. Literally, it's free as long as you're on Apple. You can download it. This is what we're gonna be using. Easy peasy. The only other app that I'm using on here is a note-taking app. You can use any one you want. If you want to know the one that I'm using, the one that I'm using is called Runestone. And this is the editor that I'm using right here. As you can see, easy peasy, you don't have to use it. It's called Runestone Text Editor. So let's dig into the shortcut. All right, so first things first, if you look over here, this is going to be Easy Nav version 0.1. You can see the purpose is for me to be able to put addresses into maps without having to open it up. I'm going to actually switch it to my current location of this right here, but this is the shared aquarium in Chicago. So you might not want, you want to keep yours as current location, but because I'm sharing this and I don't want to have to blur out my screen all the time, then I'm going to use this as my current, as the location it opens up to. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to say rename it to Easy Nav. I'm going to change my icon to orange and I'm going to have it as a maps. First things first, best practices. We want to use a comment. We want to help out our future self so we'll know what we was doing. So I'm going to just copy this. This is just telling it what it is and what the purpose of this shortcut is, what it does. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add a text block. And with this text block, I'm going to put in this address right here. So I'm going to copy it. Again, you don't have to do this part unless you have a specific address you want. I actually want to add in a set variable. And the reason why is because I want this to be current address. All right, awesome. Now that we got the basics out the way, as you can see over here, we have 4 categories. Now, what you might think is we could use a dictionary. But we can't use a dictionary because, well, we are going to use a dictionary, but we can't use it in a way that I would normally use it, which is if we go over to text, we click on the plus, we say array, and then we click into here and we just say, okay, this is text, this is text, this is text, and this is text, and we just label each one. The reason why that's not going to work is because we will have to remember these items. So we have to know item 3 is this specific address, or item 4 is that specific address. And honestly, to me, that's a lot of unnecessary memorization. So we're not going to do it like that. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a choose from menu because we can't use an array, we still want to use some type of organizational structure so we don't have just a long list going down the page. So the first one is going to be cafes. The second one is going to be fun places. Then after that, we can say plus. Then we can say restaurants. And hit the plus sign. And the last one is going to be everyday places. These are the places I tend to go every day. All right. So now that we have that for the prompt, I'll put where would you like to go for the prompt. And now we can start building. So you might think that, well, first let's build it out properly. So we're going to say list because that's what we need. And let's see here, scroll down. We got backspace. Okay, there you go, right there. So I'm going to drop this in here. And the next thing, so first things first, you can see the first list is cafe. So it's Starbucks. So I'm going to drop this in here and we can get rid of that 1. And we're going to change this to 2 and change this to 3. Now, here's what we're doing. We're saying, okay, this is our list, and we're treating this list as keys because to pass things to a dictionary, we need the key, which means we need a choose from. So choose from list. This just allows us to be able to see this list and pick which one we want. Once we have that, the next thing we need is a dictionary. And we're going to use the dictionary differently. So dictionary is right here. We're going to drop it below there. And next thing we want to do is we're going to say text box. We want all of these to be text box. And what I recommend you do is to just copy whatever you put up here. That way you don't have to worry about your shortcut not working. Because if you're doing this and your shortcut doesn't work, then it's only one or two things. Your key isn't correct or you missed a step. More times than not is a typo. So that's the reason why I'm copying this list, because these are my keys. All right, and we're gonna need these keys to pull these addresses. So first things first, I'm gonna say copy. So I'm gonna copy this. So this is address 1. This is going to be address 2. So I'm gonna grab that and paste it in. Then this is going to be address 4. Well, address number 3. I'm gonna paste it in. Awesome. Now what I need to do is, now that we have that, I need a way to pull these keys. And the way that I'm gonna pull these keys is I'm gonna use get value, because these addresses are the values that we need to be able to pass through to maps. And the way we pull these values is using the keys, hence why we have this list up here. You might think you don't need this list and you might try to build it without this list, but if you do, it's not gonna work at the time of this video, because I tried to shortcut it and it did not work. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get value. Okay, we gotta be more specific, get dictionary value. So I'm gonna pull that down, drop it right there. And this is the one we want right here to choose from, because remember, we're gonna be able to read these labels, click on it, and it's gonna type it in for us. So since this is the only one I have right now, I can safely click that and know that that's it. The next thing we want to do is open up directions. So open directions, which is going to be right here. We're going to pull that down, drop it right there. Now, I'm going to actually hold on current location, and I'm going to say select variable, which is going to be right here. And I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to choose current address. All right. Now that that's completed, I should be able to click on play. And you remember we're doing the cafe. So I should be able to click on play, say cafe, Starbucks 2, and it should open it up, and it should give me the directions. And as you can see, it's telling you that I'm going from the Shed Aquarium or the Field Museum, whichever one address I pull, all the way over here to whatever this Starbucks this is a Starbucks, so to this Starbucks. Now, this is what I want. So it worked. Awesome. I can close that out. So now I know that that worked. And now I just do that for every other address I have. But the reason why we're using the choose from menu is because it allows us to categorize it. So cafes and cafes, fun places and fun places, restaurants and restaurants, and everyday places and everyday places. Now, technically, everyday places probably should be at the top, but for the sake of this, we're gonna just leave it like this. So now that we see this is the build, and if we took off list and then pass a key through it, and we just tried to put the dictionary here for a key, that might work, but I don't know. I'm on a beta, so it's not working for me. So yeah, I'm gonna say collapse. And now we're finna do fun places. The exact same way we just did that one. So we're gonna do list, scroll down so I can drop. All right, so it's not going where I want it to go. So I'm gonna delete that. And every now and again you have to, so if I wanted to, I could just put them right here, and then I could try to see if I can bring it up. And since it's not working for me to bring it up, I'm gonna delete that because I don't want it right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close out of shortcuts, because usually if you're having a hard time getting it to go where you want it to go, that's because shortcuts is not acting right. It's misbehaving. So as a result, I could pull this back over, and then I can go back into that shortcut. All right, so now we could just try to grab it, and now you see how those are moving. That's the way it's supposed to do. Those are supposed to slide out your way, like so. The sad part is we grabbed the wrong thing. Rather, I grabbed the wrong thing. We were supposed to grab a list, and did I see a list at first? No, that was text. List. We're going to scroll down till we see the list, which is right here. So I can open that up, plus it, plus it, and plus it. Now I could drop this right here, drop this one right here, and drop that one right there. So now what I can do is I can come back over here. I can say paintball, paste that right there. The next one is going to be skating. The next one is going to be hiking. Down here is going to be restaurants, which is Popeyes. This is going to be McDonald's. Then we got some barbecue. It's kind of good too. Today, Memorial Day. Barbecue sounds really good right now. Then we have Joey's, which is a hot dog place around me. Down here, we have work. We have home, cafe, and that's it. All right. So now what I could do is I can come through here, grab a dictionary. I could drop one right there. I can duplicate this if I don't want to go back through trying to find another dictionary. All I'm doing is right clicking on the icon, menu pop up, then I click on duplicate. Then I can grab this one. Let's see here. Maybe it goes up here. Yeah, okay. And then I can start here. I can say text, text, text. Then I can come grab, I'm gonna copy this because this is the key I want it to be. And if you don't want to copy it, you don't have to copy it. If you're comfortable with typing it in, by all means, do what works for you. But after miscopying a ton of different URLs when I was building out websites, I've just learned to just trust copy and paste. And we're using text, so kind of easy because that's what we're passing to maps. If you pick the wrong thing, it's not going to pass it to maps. The shortcut going to break it. It's going to say something to the effect of it cannot convert whatever you pick to text. So if you get that error, that just means you have to come back up in here and make sure you're setting your dictionary to text. So let's see, this is only 3. So I'm going to say text, text, text. And since this is getting a little unwieldy, we're going to say nothing. We can click this, say plus. It moves everything up just a little bit for us. So now we can paste that. And honestly, when you're doing these shortcuts, if you take the time out to pre-build your shortcut, and what I mean by pre-build it is like lay it out like this, it makes creating your shortcut a lot easier because you'll quickly see when you have something wrong. So the next thing I want to do is under everyday, well, actually, it's going to be up under restaurants. So we're going to start with restaurants. No, actually, we're going to start with fun places. All right, so we're just going to come over here, copy the address, and we're going to copy. All I'm doing is copying. I see for that one, I don't have an address, so I'll change this one to 901. All right, so for Popeyes, we're going to copy that, Command V. All I'm doing is double clicking, it's automatically highlighting it for me. And the barbecue joint, I'm gonna copy that whole thing, Command V, then I'm gonna copy this one, and Command V. Next, what I wanna do is, actually that's not a Joey's by my house. I thought it was, but no, that's a Dallas, Texas. All right, so next one I wanna do is copy work, and I'm gonna Control V. I'm gonna copy this one. I'm going to Command V, then I'm gonna copy this one, and I'm going to Command V. Now, this is the hardest part of this shortcut done. So, only thing we have to do now is grab some lists. So we're gonna grab a choose from, if I can spell. So choose from list. We want that to go right there. Choose from list. We want that to go right there. Then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna choose from list. And we want that one to go right there. Easy peasy. Now we're gonna come back up here. And the next thing we want is a get value. So let's see, get value. Okay, it's down here. I can drop it right there. I can, I'm gonna get in the habit of duplicating because it would make my life so much easier. So we'll grab this, come down here, keep going, drop that right there. And we can duplicate this one again and drop it down here. Wouldn't let me grab it at first. All right, so first things first, you see this line right here? If you don't see this line on here, that means something's wrong. You see this line is connected to this. This should be connected to this. So all we got to do is clear it. and click into it. We can say select variable, and we can click it right there, and it's going to automatically connect. As you can see, it did right here. Same thing as with this one. We can right click, click variable, click on it, select variable, and then we can select this variable right here, which is the dictionary, which is what we want. So make sure that that actually took. Click in here, select variable, and we're going to say dictionary. Okay, cool, for whatever reason. Okay, so shortcuts kept on scrolling me all the way back to the top. I'm not sure why I was doing that, but once we click it, it connects, and then we can just come through here and make sure all of our connections are good. Now that we have that, we're good to go. The only thing we have to do now is get directions. Okay, open directions. We could drop that right there. I'm gonna hold my finger on current location. I'm gonna say select variable. I'm gonna stroll all the way back up to the top, and I'm gonna click on current address. All right, and we can take a look at this. It looks good. Everything's look correct. We can fact check our stuff based on the first one we did. I can collapse it. I'm gonna collapse this one because it's completed now. And now we can move on to this one. Actually, let's go back up. I don't think that one was complete. It wasn't. So right here where it says key, we're gonna select variable, and the variable we want is right here, choose from. Now we can click out, click enter to remove our line, and now we can close out because now it's complete. So now we're going to click into here. We're going to select our variable. The variable we want is going to be this one right here. We can click enter to remove ourselves from it. Now we can say get or open, I think it is. I think that's the name of it, open directions. Correct the mundo. We're going to drop it right here. Now we can hold on current location. We can say select variable. We scroll all the way up to the top, say current address, and now that one's completed. So now we can just right click, collapse it, and this is our last one right here. So we can say select variable, choose item, then we can come over here and say get directions, grab that. We're gonna pick it up, see if we can't put it right there. Perfect. We're gonna change our current location. We're gonna say current address. It popped up now for me. And after that, looks like our shortcut is done. All we have to do is now test it out. How's it going? Will here. And on this channel, I teach you how to boost your productivity, leveraging automation and technology to make creating content effortless. Let's talk automation. All right, so now it's time for us to test our shortcut. We have everything set up and we're good to go. So I'm gonna click play, and we can randomly click any of them. At this point, they all should work. They should all do the exact same thing. And as you can see, they do. And this one is pretty far from me, but you can see it got that current location. And the cool thing about that, we're gonna close that out, because if I do anything other than close it out that way, I'm gonna have to blur the screen. So the cool thing about this is you can make this address be anything, or you can, where I was changing the address up to change it up to from current location, you can actually keep it at current location right here. So where it says current address, you can change that, hold it, change it back, and it should give you the option for a current address. So if you clear this variable, it'll give you the option for current address. So that's what I prefer you do, or recommend you do rather, so that way it'll always pull the address you're at in that moment and you don't have to change that. But this is the shortcut in a nutshell. I mean, you can add to it all you want, and the cool thing about it is it's kind of cool because you can, do that. Now, I do know that some people like to add in like emojis or something like that. So if we hit the globe icon, we can say cafe, so I can have a cup of coffee, fun places. We definitely don't want to delete that. That would hurt my feelings. We can hit the globe icon, we can say fun, and this is what's fun to them. Okay, I'm not sure which one of these icons I will use, but for the sake of brevity, let's just say kind of fun. All right, then I could click right here, say globe icon. Do we have maybe stores? Maybe food. All right, let's do this one. And then everyday places, I could say space and globe icon. Let's see, everyday places. Could I say places? Guess I could do maybe this one right here since it's everyday places. Now when I click play, at a glance, I get some little emoji. So, I mean, it's pretty cool what you can do with it. Ultimately, though, that's how easy it is to create your own navigation system and never have to worry about dealing with, normal maps again. For me personally, I'm going to go in, change up all these, well, not with this one, but I'm going to duplicate this one and then I'm going to clear it out and put all my addresses in because the categories that's on here are my actual categories. I just changed up the addresses and locations, but this is absolutely what I'm going to be using to make my life so much easier moving forward when I get in the car and have someplace to go. And the fact that we can activate it with Siri is even better. So with that being said, till next time, later. How's it going? Will here. And in this video, why can't I get this? I do this all the time. I literally say this like 20 times a day. Like, I don't get it. Why am I struggling today? I don't know. I think I got barbecue on my mind for real. I am ready to go eat. Let's try it again.